News time.
That's right. Time for the news.
News time, baby.
That's right. It's the late edition.
News time.
That's right. Time for the news, baby. All right, we're going to get started right here. And we have a story from Charleston, West Virginia. Jimmy C. Gardner, African-American man who was imprisoned for nearly 3 decades for a crime he did not commit, is now a well-known motivational speaker and advocate for the wrongly imprisoned men and women. In 1989, Gardner was accused of the 1987 sexual assault of 2 elderly white women in Charleston, West Virginia. During that time, Gardner had a bright future waiting for him as he was in college studying business management and playing minor league baseball with the basketball with the Charleston Whalers. But it was cut short when the police apparently targeted him. Gardner, who was then living in Tampa, Florida with his great aunt, was questioned by Charleston police about the crime. They asked me for fingerprints, photographs, saliva, urine, blood. I readily gave it because I didn't do the crime, and I wanted to prove that I didn't do the crime. That's something that I tell everyone not to do today. Never give up your forensic characteristics. He was later arrested and charged with 2 separate counts of robbery and sexual assault, as well as burglary and assault during the commission of a felony. He was put on trial where he was assigned with an incompetent public defender. He was since maintained his innocence, but he was found guilty and was sentenced to 110 years in prison in 1990. It was only in 2016, about 27 years later, when it was determined that there was no forensic evidence connecting him to the crime, nor did he match the description of the attacker. It was found that the assigned chief serologist in the case falsified forensic evidence to have him convicted. Gardner was released from custody and his convictions overturned. He also has reached a $175,000 settlement with the city of Charleston, despite that the emotional distress has wrongfully convicted caused him and his family still remains. Since his release, Gardner has been an advocate for the wrongly imprisoned and over-incarcerated. With his first-hand experience of injustice to the legal system, he is fighting for prison reform and inmates' rights in the country. So congratulations to him. He's trying to do something. He's moving forward with his life. Here was story number 2. The world's most comprehensive African-American history collection is in crisis mode. Elizabeth Meters, an 87-year-old teacher who spent more than 50 years collecting over 20,000 valuable black history items to create this collection, says it's a disappointment about the lack of support. The world's most comprehensive African-American history collection is called the African History Trust. The collection is a chronological, loving, documented history of a noble people called African Americans, and sadly, this collection is in crisis mode. The collection of more than 20,000 items. Several history professionals who have examined her collection have called it the world's most comprehensive African American history collection because its historical materials could create at least 10 subject-specific standalone African American museums. The African American History Trust collection also showcases some magnificent and dramatically important singular African American history treasures, such as Bill Pickett's saddle, Satchel Paige's rocking chair, Sammy Davis Jr.'s medal, one of his medals, Marcus Garvey's death mask, Bessie Coleman's photo, a live wax statue of Hank Aaron, life-size, a CDV of Robert Smalls, a Joe Louis statue, a General Butler medal, Jackie Robinson hat, and a Berg Williams rug. The collection also contains a Marcus Garvey archive, a rare autograph group, a folk art, and a decorative art component. Pictures of some of these treasures can be viewed on Elizabeth Meters' website at www.blackhistorytreasures.com. That's www.blackhistorytreasures.com, which also provides videos and additional information about the Meters History Project. I'm going to definitely look at that as soon as I finish this story. I'm going to go look at that, and also I'm going to try to see what I can do to try to help support this this huge collection that she has, to see what we can do. All right, here's story number 3. Feel good story about some kids in Florida. It's a Florida children praised for using their CPR training to save their stepfather's life. All right, here we go. You want to see the kids? There they are. Those are the kids that saved their stepfather's life. 2 brothers, Isaiah and Corey Walker from Florida, who are 11 and 12 years old, are being called heroes for saving the life of their stepfather through their quick actions, which even involved performing CPR. According to reports, Terry Poole suddenly collapsed on Saturday in the living room of their home while babysitting his stepchildren. He apparently suffered from a heart attack. Isaiah quickly responded to help and perform CPR, which he had recalled from what he learned when they took swimming lessons at a local aquatic center. Corey was the one who called 911 and passed on to Isaiah the instructions the dispatcher was giving. She said, "Do CPR," Corey told. "Just let your arm stretch and place your heel of your hand between his chest." The 2 youngest siblings, 8-year-old Lyric and 7-year-old Cash, was also there to see the incident. "I stayed calm with all my brothers," Lyric said. "I took a deep breath. I was scared," Cash said. "I thought he was dead." The children's mother, Shanovia Walker, said she hurried to get home from work when she received a call about what happened. "When I got to my door, they had Terry on the floor trying to revive him," Shanovia Walker said. "They had my kids in the back room trying to keep them away from what was going on." She said Poole was taken to a local hospital where medical staff told that Poole would have died if it not for her children. "Because of your son, your children, they saved him," Shanovia said. They told her when he got there, he could have already been dead. "Your son is a hero. It made me feel very proud," she added. So we got some kids over there saving lives. They know that CPR. They learned CPR when they was learning how to swim. So get your kids some swimming lessons. It might save your life. News time, baby.
It's news time.
It's a new theme song, baby.
It's news time, baby.
That's right.